Cybernetics.
Talk to him now.
AT, Andre.
Come on, Dre.
Yep. Trippin with Let's Go. Woo! Trippin with Theobold.
What's your name?
Theobold.
Yeah.
Driggity. Let's go. Trippin with Theobold. Trippin.
What are we doing?
Trippin with Theobold.
Come on, Dre.
Yo, mic check 1 2. We on? Are we on? Do y'all hear me? Let me just make sure my audio is good. Let me just see what I'm sounding like before we hop into things. I think we sound good. It's a take. Hey, what's going on, y'all? And welcome to the 93rd episode of Trippin with Theobold. I'm your host, Andre Theobold. Welcome to the 93rd episode, man. We've been doing this joint. Man, give it up for me, man. We on episode 93. Man, shout out to my new followers, my new subscribers, man. Keep checking me out. I'm gonna keep I'm gonna keep giving y'all this hot content the way that y'all like it. And it's gonna do what it's gonna do. But anywho, welcome to the show. Man, I got my beard looking good. Okay, I'm good. But welcome, we here. So before we go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, and do all that fun internet stuff. INNANET, 1T, internet, like the old people say. Keep doing that. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep spreading the word. I like how I have my new subs trickling on in. But today's gonna be a quick episode. We don't have to talk for an hour or an hour and a half all the time. Sometimes, it's good to just come in and just drop that hot knowledge and move on. But before I do that, let me make sure I let my constituents know that I am live on social media right quick. Let me go ahead and do this right quick. As they say, practice makes perfect. Yeah, I don't want that. Okay, this is what I want. Boom, here we go. Yeah, put this in my story right quick. Do this. Good. Hey, what's up, y'all? The wizard is behind the green curtain. Come and trip with a player on Trippin with Theobold. Come on now. Come check me out. That was kind of weird, but we gon' keep messing with it. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times when things are how should I put it? Life is about getting out of your comfort zone. Like this social media, internet stuff. Okay, I can cuss now. Cool. I'm at 3 minutes. This social media, internet shit. It's all about just comfortability. It's about comfortability. You know what I mean? And I'm moving out my comfort zone. Like we all want to have pre-scripted value demonstrations. To show that we're worthy and all that. But man, who cares, man? You want to get out there and be messy? Be messy. Yeah, you know what I mean. Anywho, let me go ahead and get this all plugged in, locked and loaded away. My goal for the end of 2024 when it comes to this, I want to be able to put this little ad out in under 10 seconds. And right now I'm like at 45 seconds making a mess. But that's how life is. Sometimes you have to, get out there, not be ashamed of yourself, you know what I'm saying? Go make a mess. You know what I mean? And okay, now I'm talking and I'm trying to get the link to my page. Now, why won't it give me the link to what I want? Okay, I want to share. Okay, no, I don't want that. See what I'm saying? Yeah, here we go. Share, there we go. Bing, bang, boom. Share, copy link. Back on this. Yeah, my goal is to get this in 10 seconds. And that's a lofty goal, but when we do it, it's gonna be what it's gonna be. Okay. Link. There we go. Link. We are here. Paste. Oh, I don't want that. Paste. There we go. Get rid of that. Say done. Done. There we go. So we post and forget. That's what we do. We post and forget. It's loading right now, so we're here. Okay, enough of that. Okay, so as you guys know, I am a big Buffalo Bills fan. In today's episode, I'm all over the place right now. I'm trying to get this story to upload before I put my phone in, because there's a weird effect whenever I plug my phone in and then try to upload a story. What happens is like the story never uploads. So I'm uploaded. People can come check in and tune in if they want. But here we go. Okay, today's episode number 93 is tied to none other than, pull up my iPhone and then pictures. Go. There we go. Today's episode is tied to none other than number 93, Pat Williams. Pat Williams was a defensive end for the Bills. I remember him back in the day. Played alongside Ted Washington and a lot of Buffalo Bill greats. I believe he played alongside, what's our guy's name? Number 77 for the Bills. Not Jim Jeffcoat, but what's the other guy that I can't even think right now. From USC, from California, went to an Ivy League school, played alongside Marcellus Wiley. There we go. I believe he played alongside Marcellus Wiley, or at least on the same team as Marcellus Wiley. So today's episode is tied to number 93, Pat Williams. Pat Williams was one of the rare Buffalo Bills, and the reason why I say he's a rare Buffalo Bill is because he was part of that fringe jersey era, right? Where he played in the 90s Super Bowl run jerseys, the royal blue and the one stripe red helmet. And then he went to the navy blue uniforms, which I like to call the dungeon uniforms, because when we had them dungeon uniforms, man, we did not see the playoffs. We did not see the playoffs at all. Like, the Bills never made the playoffs in these uniforms that you are looking at right now. I call these the dungeon jerseys, because we were locked away in a dungeon in these jerseys. So he played in both of these jerseys. I think who was another player that played in both jerseys? Like you had like Nate Clemens played in both jerseys. What's the other guy's name? Winfield. Forgot his first name. Winfield, the other cornerback. Both were great corners. You know what I'm saying? They played in both jerseys. Who else was another player that played in both jerseys? You had Eric Moulds played in both of them jerseys. So there's a handful of players that played in that fringe era where they played, in the Super Bowl run jerseys and the dungeon jerseys. But enough of that. Today's episode 93 tied to number 93, Pat Williams. All right, so moving along, we are now going to do our favorite thing, which is the tongue twisties. All right, tongue twisty time. So as y'all know, I do my tongue twisties to get that brain-tongue coordination under control, so there'll be less trippage. But we're going to trip anyway, and whenever we trip, we just say, man, come on, Dre, and then we get on with life. All right, so here we go. Today's tongue twisty is tied to number 18, because today is the 18th of August, and the 18th letter of the alphabet is R. Now, you can read along with me or watch me struggle. So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and read. And man, R's used to mess me up, man. And they still do sometimes, R's be messing me up, man. Like sometimes I be can't get that joint out. You know what I'm saying? But with practice comes perfection eventually, right? Or not, but we just get better nonetheless. So here we go. Number 1. Reading bells ring rapidly and reads Russell round rivers. Reading bells ring rapidly and reads Russell round rivers. Reading bells ring rapidly and Come on, Dre. Reading bells ring rapidly and reads Russell round rivers. A lump of red lead. A lump of red lead. Lump of red lead. A lump of red lead. Rex, Rex, wet rocks. Rex, Rex, wet rocks. Rex, Rex, wet rocks. Rex, wet rocks. Okay, that's not about speed. It's about accuracy. All right, so Rex, Rex, wet rocks. Bam. Raised roots, red roof. Raised roots, red roof. Raise Ruth's red roof. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red blah blah blah. Come on, Dre. Red lorry, yellow lorry. Red lorry, yellow lorry. And yay, we are done with the tongue twisties. Hopefully you read along with me and you got twisted up and you are on your way to, or at least on your way to converging to perfection, because no one ever becomes perfect. There's no one that is perfect. We can't conceive perfection, but we can always converge to it, right? And that's what we're doing. We converging towards perfection. No one that will never get there. All right, boom. What's next? So today let's go and hop in on the main topic. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's gonna be a short episode. We're gonna be in and out. I want to get y'all on your way, to doing whatever y'all want to do. Let me take a sip of this. Let me take a sip of this tea right quick. In my Normandy mug. This is Normandy, Rouen, Normandy. I got this when I was in France. That's the thing about me when I travel, man. Like, one thing I like when I travel is, like, a lot of these stores sell little gift trinkets and shirts and keychains and key rings and stuff. And I'm a coffee mug magnet kind of dude, man. All I want is just something that says I was there. Like, t-shirts fade, they go away. You wear things on keychains. You don't want to be carrying around all these different trinkets of places you've been. But my refrigerator is getting decorated right now, man. I have lots of magnets. Coffee shelf, my coffee cabinet has a lot of decorative mugs. So this is, come on, Dre. This is my Rouen Normandy mug. Like, at first I couldn't say Rouen. Oh, isn't that interesting? R. Letter R of the alphabet, right? We just did the tongue twisties with the letter. Okay, you get the point. But I could not pronounce Rouen to save my life. At first I thought it was ruin or Ron or ruin, but it's Rouen. Rouen. Now watch somebody from France come back and say, no, it is not Rouen. Like, all right, man, then what is it then? All right, let me get back on track. So here we go. So today's show is titled The Poop. Now, I know a lot of y'all, when y'all saw the title, you were like, why is he talking about the poop? And why am I in this secret lab, right? So I'm in this secret lab because the title loosely has to do with this background, right? So what I've learned in life and in academia is that 90% of successful people have what is known as the poop, right? My dad coined this term, R.I.P. Pop. My dad coined this term. He called it the poop, right? My dad used to always say, Jay, when you go to school, you want to study and you want to get with all the smart students so you can get the poop because they have the poop, And I think he even said, there was someone else, it wasn't my dad, but there was someone else that loosely said the same thing. And they were like, hey, you want to join a fraternity because they got the information. They got all the exams from the beginning of time. So you got to go join that fraternity and step and march and do all that stuff so you can have access to those exams so you can get that A. All right. So 90% of life. So let me break down why I'm in this lab, right? So when I was in school, when I was working with various colleagues of mine and other students, what I learned is a lot of the poopage or a lot of the students that would hide information from me would work alongside me in these labs, right? In a lab that looks something like this, So that's why I'm in this background secret lab kind of thing, because I'm giving y'all the poop, right? I'm in this secret lab so I can give y'all the poop. All right, so hold on, let me get my chair locked in because my chair is not locked in and I'm rolling all over the place. So give me 1 second. All right, so here we go. The poop. So as my dad said, the poop is the information that all the smart students or all the people that appear to be smart hide, right? So it's my conjecture that 90% of the people that we see who we think are successful are really, they work hard, but they're not like as gifted as we think. They're not as gifted as we think. Now, there are some people that are phenoms, and that's like 1% of the population. But I think that a lot of the people that you see who are successful that appear to have it like that, a lot of those people have had access to the poop. And having access to the poop is, here's the thing, right? You don't have to share access to the poop. All right. I get it, right? Life is competitive. We all want to get ahead. We all want to be numero uno. As Tears for Fears says, everybody wants to rule the world, but the poop, man. So what motivated me to talk about the poop today? So in the past couple of weeks in my comedy community, I listen to comics, I joke around and laugh, but also I listen, and one thing I've heard a lot in general is, or just the concept of is, it's, hey, I know this information, all you got to do is this and you'll be like me or you'll be successful, and if you've been doing it or been doing what they said for a long time and you haven't had success, but they keep having success, there's something they're not telling you. There's something that they are not telling you and they're not being honest with you. So that's what kind of motivated all this, right? And I watched another podcast last week and there was a comedian that said, he has information that can help other people, but he doesn't give it to them unless he feels like they're ready for it because it can hurt themselves, and I was like, man, that's kind of arrogant, but it is what it is. I respect that people know what they know or, hide what they hide, and it is what it is, So it's like I said before, it's my conjecture that 90% of people that we see or think that are successful, they're successful because they have access to the poop. All right. So there's two types of poopage. All right. There are two types of poopage. All right. And let me just follow me. Okay. So there are people that have the inside scoop or they have the poop and they don't share it with nobody. And at the same time, they don't rub it in nobody's face. Then you got those that got the poop, got access to the poop, they're successful, but then they rub the poop in their face. They don't rub the poop in the face. They rub the fact that they don't have the poop in their face. Right? Those are the two types of poopage. So when I was in school, in college, there was one student in particular, real nice guy, man. Like every class, every day after engineering class, man, we talk about all the interesting things that we learned about in class and ask questions and kind of have those philosophical conversations on different things and just ask questions to kind of challenge each other. And what I noticed is whenever it came to the homework or right before an exam, if I had a specific question on what was asked in class, and I asked this student this thing outside of class, it was always, oh, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. He was the most not knowingest motherfucker I knew, right? Real nice. But then when the exam time came and we turned in our exams, at the end, I'll be like, hey, man, that exam was rough. And I think I got most of it. But hey, what did you get for, or what did you think about question 8? Or what did you get for question 8? And he'd be like, oh, that was easy. I just And I'm thinking to myself, well, motherfucker, if it's so easy, how come you didn't, I asked this question to you a few days ago, but you didn't know. So time and time again, because back then I was slow, but I should have just known, okay, this dude is hustling. He's getting his information from somewhere. He wants to get a high grade in the class. So he's going to not inform me on the shit, right? So in a way, I kind of felt like he was kind of on both sides, right? Where he knew the information, but he didn't aggressively come and tell me that, hey, I need to know this. It was more of if I asked him, I was like, hey, what did you get for number 6 or whatever number? He'd be like, oh, it was blah, blah, blah. And it was easy. Like, well, okay, whatever. So that was one guy. I had another guy in school. I'm not gonna drop. I don't like name dropping because I don't. It's irrelevant. All you need to know is the lesson, right? That's the important thing that we do is we take away the lessons that we have learned and build upon it. So I had another classmate of mine. It was weird. Like my school was messed up. Like what my school did is they had a TA registered in our class as a student. So we had a TA in our class who was a student, and he basically would tutor us. But to me, that was dumb because if he knows the stuff so well, he's going to mess up the curve on the exam, right? So why even have him in our class? Just have him in another class or just have him take the work elsewhere, right? But anyways, I remember like, since look, me, I was a hardworking student, you know, like I wanted to know what I didn't know. I wasn't afraid to fail. And if I got something wrong, I didn't get it wrong twice. That was me. So I remember I was taking stochastic processes, and for those that don't know what stochastic processes is, basically it's probability and statistics with signals and systems, essentially. Okay. So anyways, I took this class and I knew for this one exam that was coming up, I knew 60% of the information, right? I knew 60 to 65% of the information. All I needed help with was the other 35%, right? So when I went to get tutoring from this dude who was a competitor in my class, he knew that I knew what he was up to. Like, because I only had a half hour with his session. I only had a half hour. And when he sat down, he took his time and he was like, okay, we want to make sure that you understand. So we got to go from the beginning. We got to go from the very, very, very beginning. And I'm like, no. I get all that. I need to get here. Like I know 60 to 65% is I need help with this, right? I'm the kind of dude where if I go to get help, I know what I need help with. I don't need you to spoon feed me. Just get me what I need, what I say I need when I say I need it. You know, so I keep trying to speed it up and move along, and he's just going real slow. And he got me maybe to like the 75. He got me to like the 70, 75% mark of what I needed to know in totality, leaving another 25% that I needed help with that I went to him for. And right when that last second was ticking down, he was like, up, but hey, it's time to go. Sorry, buddy. And he had that little laugh to let you know that he knew what you knew what the game was. So I was like, oh, this motherfucker got the poop, but he's trying to hold back on the poop, man. So, yeah, anyways, yeah, that's kind of like, you know, that's been my experience. You know, like there are things that I know that I'm not going to give up, you know, because I had to fight hard to get this information on my own. Now, if I see someone struggling with it, you know, we can barter, the shit, but I'm not going to just give up information that I know readily without some sort of trade. You know what I mean? But that's just me. I'm fair. But at the same time, I'm not going to brag to other people that I know something and they should know it because it's just common knowledge. Like I'm not going to make somebody feel stupid for not knowing that, you know? I think that's fair. You know, maybe it's not. If it's not, let me know in the comment section below and we'll address it, you know? And I think the truth was also the same too back when I was in school with the ladies. You know what I'm saying? Like all the dudes like figured out some little angle or some trick with the ladies, you know, and they would always like make me feel like I was dumb. They'd be like, man, if you don't get it, just don't get it. Like, man, it's just simple. If you don't get it, you don't get it. Right. And I'm telling myself, now when I look back, I'm like, oh, nah, I know what the issue was. The issue is you were figuring this shit out and you figured out something that helped get you more opportunities with the ladies. So you basically hoarded that to make sure that you kept me out the competition, you know? And I get it. You know, I totally get it. But that's life. So what's my message to y'all for today? My message is for all the Bill Gates out there and Mark Zuckerbergs and Elon Musk, you know, those guys, you know, I'm not going to say they're not smart, You know, those guys are probably smart, but I'm willing to bet that 90% of what they know, there's some trick or some hidden information that basically, or some series of compounded secret information that got them to where they are, right? Now there's some people, like I said, that are just gifted, like they just know stuff without being taught anything. You know, they just kind of absorb and they just know, right? But then there's a lot of people that fake like they are godsends, and really they just had access to information that other people had, or that a smaller percentage of people had, that allowed them to excel in certain areas of life. You know, that's all. That's all it is. You know, like right now, I'm in an acting class right now. Real dope acting class, man. It's an on-camera acting class, and you know, I'm learning so much just about all the technicality, all the technical things that you got to think about as an actor when you're working on set. You know, and you know, the our teacher's daughter is like she's a regular season cast member of this show that's been running for a long time, and she's real young. And from early on, they've been training her with working on camera because that's what they do, you know? And she just knows certain things when she goes on set, you know? So, she could probably, and I think she's maybe like 11, 12 years old or whatever. She's young, but I'm willing to bet she could probably teach her dad's class because of just what she like knows and what she goes through, right? But when she goes on set and she's trying to compete for a job, do you think that she's going to give her her little secrets to help you compete with her? No. Right? And that's cool. I get it. Right? But I'm just calling it out. I'm not saying it's bad. Right? The takeaway is that it's not bad to be mum on information that gives you an advantage, but I think it's shitty if you make other people feel shitty about what you don't know. Right? That's what I don't like. You know? So it is what it is. Put your comments in the comment section down below. And let me give you one more example, one more story, and then I'm gonna hop off of this because I got to get going. But there was another situation when I first came out to LA to visit. This was like back in 2009, I think it was. I read this book, and this book basically talked about the Comedy Store, you know, and I never saw the Comedy Store or went to the Comedy Store before I read this book. So it was this big, mystical, magical place. And I was like starting out in comedy. I was like maybe like 1 or 2 years in comedy. So when I came in and I went to the Comedy Store, I was in awe. Like I'm looking at all the pictures of all the comedians from the past. Like I'm looking at my heroes, people I looked up to. And there was one comedian, man. I think we cool now. I mean, we speak and shit, but there was one comedian, man. I remember I'm looking at all the pictures, just like I'm taking it all in. And he was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" Like when he saw me, he was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" I was like, "Hey, what's going on?" He's like, "Man, guess what, man?" I was like, "What?" He said, "Man, you're not gonna make it." I said, "What?" He said, "No, you're not gonna make it. I can just tell. I can look at you that you're not gonna make it." And I was like, "Okay." And he was like, "Hey, you want to learn how to make it?" I was like, "Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm sure. I'm all ears." Nah. You know, he's like, "No, you're not ready for it. Plus, you're not gonna make it anyway." You know, that was like shitty, right? Like that's what I'm kind of talking about. Like, here's the thing, right? He might not have had the poop that I needed. That sounds weird. He might not have had the poop or the information that I needed, but he made me feel like shit for not knowing something that he felt that I should have known, right? Which was kind of weird. It's kind of nebulous, right? But those little head games really mess with people, man. So if you can take anything from today's show, just know this. Yeah, you got to put in the work. Yeah, you got to put the effort in. But in the back of your mind, ask yourself, is there some little trick or some little, not shortcut. No, I didn't say shortcut, but is there some little trick or some little thing that kind of unravels the complexity of whatever it is that you are studying, right? Just always be mindful of that, you know, because there's always some little thing or some little framework of knowledge that if you tap into it, or if you just have someone show you what it is, it'll just unravel itself and you'll just see it, right? So just be mindful of that. But yeah, same thing with like textbooks, right? When you look at textbooks in school, textbooks, their job is the bookstores companies to make money, right? Like we're still messing with books in the year 2023 when we have all these touch pads and all this information, all this Wi-Fi, WhisperNet, tablet stuff, right? But when you look at textbooks really, for a given subject, or for a given, if you have a textbook title, the information from that textbook from different versions really doesn't change, right? Like the editions don't really change. They might have a new preface, they might have some new updated figures or some shit, but if you go from edition 2 to edition 17, the amount of information that's changed in that book is probably less than 5%, right? So they're putting all this confusing ass information in there, and at the end of the day, it's like, if someone explains it to you in a way where there's that little trick that kind of unfolds, that kind of makes everything unfold, you'll just see it and it'll just make sense, right? Like there's this one book called, let me actually look this book up, see if I can find it for y'all. There's this one book that I recommend, and this is me giving away some of the poop. So as y'all can see, like I'm not being stingy with the poop. I'm giving y'all some poop right now. So take heed. Let me see this right quick. See if I can find this book for y'all right quick. There we go. Yeah, here it is. Booyah. Let me go and pull this up for y'all right quick. Let me pull my phone back up. Why is my iPhone? What's this thing? Here we go. Boom. This book here is an amazing book. Matter of fact, there's two of them, right? There's How to Ace Calculus, and then How to Ace the rest of calc. Right, here it is. But y'all can look up. Here's the thing, right? When I was in undergrad, there was I was taking calc or whatever, calc 1 or calc. I was taking calc 2 at the time, and there was a student. I forgot. I got to get this guy's name because he was older, and he was a foreign student, but he was like my mentor, and we had these big ass calculus textbooks about this thick, 500-800 pages of just nothing, and we're in class, and we're taking tests and passing or whatever, getting what we got to get done, and this brother put me onto this book called How to Ace Calculus, the Streetwise Guide, right? And it's about yay thick, but they just explain, it's just real simple. It's like I learned more from this book about calculus than all my calc books, all my calc classes I took in college all together. You know what I'm saying? So this is like, he gave me some of the poop, so in return, I'm giving you some of the poop. So if you're struggling with calc, or if you got to go and do calculus or whatever, get this book, man. Read this shit first, and all that other, man, you're going to be like, man, them problems going to be easy because you're going to see it in a whole new way. All right? So that's my gift to you. Let me go ahead and take this down because I don't need this anymore. Here we go. Okay, cool. Let's get on with the next part of the show, because I got to wrap up pretty soon because I got to get out of here. I'm late. What else we got going on? Yeah, before I go any further, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, tell a friend to tell a friend, continue to do all that fun internet stuff like the old people say. So, let me go ahead and talk some DraftKings with y'all right quick. So DraftKings, where am I at? What am I doing? So yesterday I had some success. Today I'm having a little bit of success. It's not over yet. But let me go ahead and show y'all what I did yesterday. All right. Let me show y'all what I did yesterday. Here we go. I don't want to show y'all my whatever. I'm just gonna show y'all who I am. So all right, now I'm not gonna show. So just take. Let me show y'all this because I don't want to make y'all. I don't want to make it seem like I'm lying to y'all. But I don't want to show y'all my screen name because I don't want y'all to know when I hit the big bucks. You know, because if I had a milli maker, I don't want y'all hitting me up for shit. You know, so what am I looking for? Okay, I'll show y'all this. Yeah, this will do. So here we go. So as y'all see, that's me right here. So yesterday in baseball tiers, I finished in 40th place out of 3.6K. I won $5.32 off of $1. And what I did, man, was I basically just trophy chased. That's all I did yesterday was I trophy chased. All right, I'm back to trophy chasing. And what do I mean by trophy chasing? That means that I use this app called Line Star, and I basically what I do is I look at each tier player, and what I do is I look at, let me go and make this, now you guys can see that. Let me make it a little bigger. And what I do is I pay attention to the number of times a player like trophy, right? Let me make this a little smaller so you can see the player that I'm talking about. So here we go. It's Tommy Pham. I'm gonna just do one example and I'm gonna leave. Here we go. Tommy Pham. Hope y'all can see that. There we go. So trophy chasing, right? So as y'all see, the trophy means that the player was in a perfect lineup. And Tommy Pham, last time he was in a perfect lineup was on August 12th. He put up 19 fantasy points. So what I do now is I just look at the trophies per opponent, right? So I'm looking at Tommy Pham at San Diego, right? So I'm looking at Tommy Pham at San Diego, and what I did was I just looked at the fact that, okay, I looked at his last year. I look at the historical performance versus an opponent, and I look at the trophies. I look at the trophy allocation or the trophy distribution per each season, right? So I'm looking here. I'm looking at Tommy Pham. He trophied on the 18th and 19th and 27th of 2022 for San Diego, twice away, one home, one medium away home, one medium away, one medium home, one away hard. And this year, so he has basically, it's like, I just said to myself, if he was in a perfect lineup 3 times last year and he made it twice, he might be able to make it a 3rd time, right? I'm not counting the number of games. I'm not predicting when exactly he's going to get another trophy. I'm just saying to myself, last season he had three trophies. This year he has 2, but lo and behold, when I picked that or used that logic, it got me 1st place in that tier, right? So go back, rinse, wash, repeat, and do that for every tier, and you might have better luck than me or equal luck as me. If you win some money, I'll let your boy and give me that 10% cut. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm giving y'all the poop. I'm giving y'all the poop. You know? And then one thing I did too, in addition to that, is if I didn't see a trophy allocation that I liked for a specific player or for a whole specific tier, I went with the rookie, right? There's rookie players that have no history versus an opponent. And lo and behold, I got lucky, right? There was a rookie player. Who was a player that I got right yesterday? I think he was in tier 5. Yeah, Sal Frelick. Yep, Sal Frelick had no history versus the Dodgers last year, right? This is his 1st season playing. I think his, yeah, he's a rookie. So for 2023, he played the Dodgers twice, and that was it. And he has no other historical data going before 2023. So I said to myself, let me go ahead and pick Sal Frelick. And Sal Frelick put up 22 fantasy points for me. You know what I'm saying? So anytime you're trying to crunch numbers in your head, when it comes to fantasy sports, you losing. You already lost. Just chalk it up. You need to be looking at placing, positioning, and like trophies and stuff like that, and just keep it real basic. Keep it simple, right? As I say, keep it simple, stupid. All right. So what else we got going on? What's coming up next? So there will be no Trippin with Theobold next Friday because I will be out of town. Oh, that's what I meant to do. I can still plug this though, or can I? I can't. I don't have it. But not this Monday, but next Monday, my the post office that my grandma went to, or in her area, is going to be named after her in her honor, and I'm going home to Buffalo to celebrate that. That's going to be a dope thing. So that's why I'm not going. That's why there will be no Trippin with Theobold next Friday. But when I get back, episode 94, there'll be a lot of pictures and photos about this big historic event, this grandiose. I can't even put it into words, man. It's gonna be a dope event. I can't wait to go and see this post office that I used to take my grandmother to be named after her. Like that is so dope. You know what I'm saying? And then just the whole tie-in with, you know, her service during World War II and serving with the 6888. You know, like they basically went and solved the backlog mail issue during World War II on the European front. You know, so it's dope that all this is coming around full circle. So I will be back in Buffalo for that. So that's why there'll be no show next Friday, but the following Friday will be dedicated to that, episode 94. So tune in for that. Make sure y'all tune into that, because that's going to be something that you do not want to miss. Also, I had some other shows that are kind of bubbling. I'm trying to get details and confirmation on those. But when I do, I will post them and let y'all know. And then what else we got going on? Episode 96, like I said, will be a 6888-ish, or it'll be a 6888 edition of Trippin with Theobold. So I'm gonna look at and pose the question that I talked about from a few weeks ago. You know, how did the 6888 get their name? You know, like what does the 6888 stand for? So forth and so on. But also I got a couple fantasy drafts coming up. NFL season's right around the corner. Probably gonna talk more about that as the season rolls on. But thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. And without further ado, I'm out of here, folks. Peace. Yep. Trippin with Theobold.
Let's go.
Caliente.
Trippin. Yep. Trippin. Trippin. Trippin with Theobold.
Trippin with Theobold.